Hello Pisces, this is your December forecast. It's an interesting month. We've got some very challenging aspects, certainly with an exact square of Pluto and Uranus happening again in the middle of the month. Of course, we've got the big news of Saturn changing sign towards the end of the month, where he will stay for the next 3 years. And we've got some lovely trines helping us along with some of the more challenging aspects. So let's start out with one of these trines, because on the 4th of December we've got a beautiful trine between Venus and Jupiter. And so this Venus happening here and Jupiter, Venus in your 10th, Jupiter in the 6th. So this could be some good news about work. It might be some good news about a renewing of a contract. It might be some good news about traveling somewhere for work. There might be some good news about your health, something physical, but something generally good happening on that 4th date with that trine. On the 5th of the month, we've got Mars changing sign, going out of your 11th house and into your 12th house here. And Mars in your 12th house can sometimes may feel as though you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Yes, you're beavering away and not necessarily being noticed so much for everything that's going on, but it's a very good time for researching, for getting information together, for collecting something. It's really good time for getting to the bottom of something, and it's also a good time for putting energy into your spiritual growth. Those things that are not seen, not the everyday world, not the work, the career, the finances and all that stuff, but all those things that are quieter, that are more peaceful, being in nature, doing something physical in nature would be a good way of getting out the energy of that Mars in your 12th house. Now, on the 6th of December, we've got a full moon in Gemini, and this full moon happening for you in the 4th house here, in the house of home. So wherever the full moon falls, shines a light on that life area. So very often a full moon in the 4th house can indicate a move or a desire for a move. So that's a possibility. It can also indicate some changes happening connected with family. Maybe they move or they move in with you, or something changing around your home situation in some way. It's also a good time to really look at your security and what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel safe. And that too may be shining a light on that for you as well. And on the 11th, we've got Venus moving out of your 10th house and into your 11th house. And Venus in the 11th house is a lovely aspect for meeting somebody who starts out as a friend, who could become a relationship, a love relationship. It's also good for meeting people in a large group. Maybe you'll go on a big seminar and meet somebody nice on that. Maybe you'll give a seminar, a training or a workshop and meet somebody. It's also good for working in teams, working together with people. It's good for collaborating together, doing something that on your own would not be as big as if you worked with other people. So that's a nice aspect. On the 14th, we've got another trine. So originally we had Venus making the trine to Jupiter, then we have the Sun making a trine to Jupiter, so somebody might help you in your career. You may have something good happening with your reputation in some way, something of a boost there for you, Pisces. Briefly, these trines are only brief, but they're certainly worth mentioning, because if you keep your eyes open for opportunities, they very often crop up. On the 15th, the next day, we've got this powerful square from Pluto to Uranus that I mentioned at the beginning. So for you, many of you Pisces, you've certainly had some ups and downs with your finances, and this Pluto square is another reminder as to how can I feel free. How can I feel more free in my life and do more of the things that I want and not feel so inhibited afraid. It's about facing some of your fears, some of the things that you've been avoiding facing, and also many of you have had to start fresh with new careers and new ways of making money. So then after that, last but certainly not least, is that Saturn, that spent nearly 3 years in your 9th house, changes sign on the 24th of the month. And so here, Saturn moving into this 10th house. But I'm going to have to back up a little bit because I missed two very important things which happen on the 22nd of the month. So luckily you're Pisces, and Pisces don't mind, they go in and out of things. It doesn't have to be quite as structured as it would need to be for a Virgo or a Capricorn. So I hope you'll forgive me for this, my lovely Pisceans, and go with the flow of your fish, and let me take them in another direction and say that on the 22nd of the month we've got the Sun coming into this 11th house, and also on the 22nd we've got a lovely new moon in the 11th house. So it's really only Mars that's moved on, but as you can see towards the latter part of this month, and Mercury, by the way, also on the 18th moved into that house. So this 11th house for you of dreams and wishes and hopes, this is being highlighted during these this last week or so of the month. So this is a great time to think about your dreams, your wishes, the things that you want for yourself and for the planet. It's also a great time for your social circle, so if you want to meet more people, this would be the time to get out and about and meet them, make contacts, and really collaborate with people. This is great for connecting with lots of different people, and also maybe working for the greater good, doing something maybe for charity, for a non-profit, something that you feel excited about that isn't just about you. And as I said, Saturn coming into this 10th house for you for the next almost 3 years. What this means is it can go one of two ways. If you've been working very, very hard for your career for many years, you could really reap the fruits of some labour here. You may be recognised, you may be promoted, you may see a lot of success in your field at long last because you've worked very hard for it. For those of you that haven't been along that energy path, this can mean a change of career completely, a change of direction. Maybe you didn't make the right choices, but now you can remake some choices as far as your career is concerned. It's a good time for taking on a leadership role, but it's a realistic time for looking at what you can achieve and setting yourself some really serious goals about what it is you want to achieve in your work, in your career, in the world. And you may have to study, you may have to learn and upgrade some skills, but Saturn will help you to do that step by step by step. Many of you will make a change in career or restructure your career during this particular transit. So, my lovely Pisceans, it is December, and what a great time to consider for 2015 having a reading for this coming year. How are the aspects going to affect you, and how can you make best use of these energies? And of course, if you'd like a personal reading, I'd be delighted to hear from you. In the meantime, thank you for sharing, commenting, liking, and I wish you a very happy December. Bye for now.